What's up, guys? We're live. See if we get any friends today. Grab me a smoke. I need to get a tank plumbed in this thing. No diesel in. And she fires right back up. Alright. Doesn't look like we have any friends yet. But so what we got going on here? Okay. Alright, so it looks like my seems like my accelerator pump is still acting up. I got a little bit of wetness down by the carburetor base. It wasn't leaking well. Oh, the carburetor shaft's leaking. That's what it is. Yeah, the shaft's leaking on the carb. So that might be why it seems like it has a misfire sometimes, because it's got a vacuum leak on the throttle shaft. I don't know if you can pick up that. Hello, Clue. How you doing? Nice to have you. So yeah, it's looking like I got a throttle shaft leak. So I made a video in case this didn't work out, but so I've been trying to get the brakes working on this thing because I want to be able to move it around the yard. I'm gonna move it into a different spot and clean out the garage so I can get it in there. But so I've been working on the brakes. First thing that happened was I broke these two lines after I got the master cylinder to come back to life. Replaced those. Go to bleed down at the wheels. Of course, I broke off a bleeder screw. So my next attempt was at the hose. The copper crush washer turned into dust. I had to find those. That took a day. So yesterday I was here. I had my girlfriend in the car pumping the brakes, and she's getting pressure and then losing it. I'm looking around and I'm not seeing any leaks until I come back here. I don't know if you can see that stain on the ground, but it popped another line. Hi, I'm coming for you. Okay. So yeah, I had another brake line pop. So see, I'm trying to keep the cost down on getting this thing moving in the yard because I got a bunch of metal work to do, you know. So yeah, so I'd given up on that yesterday. I'm like, what the hell? And then so I'm like, all right, fine. I'm gonna get this thing so that when I come here and I get the brakes working, all I gotta do is fire it up and it'll run. And it had been running. I'd had it running a few times. And so yesterday I get this thing running, and it's freaking spouting fuel out of the accelerator pump rod, the vents and everything else. Like, what's going on? Hey, War Thunder Boy. Mystical Gaming, you're only joking, okay? I like jokes. So yeah, so this thing was geysering out of the vents, so that obviously leads me to believe that it had a stuck needle in the seat. So at that point yesterday, I'm like, you know what? Screw this, walking away. And sometimes when you're doing projects, that's what you gotta do. You just gotta walk away and think about it. So I come back today, and after thinking about it, and I filled up the bowl with some two-stroke oil, some two-stroke gas. It wouldn't run off of that, but it did lubricate up what was going on in the carburetor, because I had this thing idle in here for about 45 minutes. Let's see if she'll fire it back up. Hang with me for a second. Yeah, she fires right back up. What happened? I was having some issues with brake lines and stuff, but as you can see, I guess I have some kind of a leak at this throttle shaft. I'm not seeing it right this second, but the good thing is it's not geysering out of the vents anymore. So that's good. So it seems I've got that nailed down for now. And then trying to convince myself to go to the pot store and get a brake line and lay underneath this thing, or if I'm done for the day. But I just wanted to come on here and say hi to my peeps. And let you guys know how the progress goes, you know. I wonder what happened. At one point it said I had 20 people in here. I didn't know I had that many friends. We're down to 2 though. She's Clue, if you're still here, I am doing great. That's really nice. You went poo-poo in your pants and a piece of corn shot out. You might want to get that looked at, bub. You might want to get that looked at. What's up, Diz? How you doing, brother? Can always count on my Mach-O boys. Come through and say hi. Appreciate you. But yeah, I don't know if you missed it, Dizzy, but I was telling the people I was down here yesterday, because I've been trying to get these brakes working. I replaced these 2 lines right here, and you know, moving down to the wheels, I busted off a bleed screw. You know, so I'm trying to bleed it through the hose. It's not the best way to do it, but I'm only trying to move it around in the driveway, right? So I have my girl in there pumping up the brakes, and she's like, it's getting pressure, but I'm losing it. I'm looking around and I'm not seeing any leaks, and then all of a sudden I come back here and there's a big huge leak right there. I popped another brake line. So I'm gonna have to put another brake line in it, and then I can get it moved over to the other spot, because eventually we're gonna clean out the garage, and this old girl is gonna go indoors, because some of the metal work is gonna entail me pulling the rear differential out, the whole rear end out, the exhaust and everything, because well, let's see if I can I don't know if you guys will be able to see. I got my light on. But yeah, I got some work to do. You see, I got some work ahead of me. You know what I mean? But I know this looks pretty intimidating, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad as you think. I'm glad to have you here too, Dizzy. Absolutely glad to have you here. I don't know who E-Dog is, but I don't read emoji. Looks like you're telling me to fuck myself with lube. Is that what that is? Maturity must be low in your neck of the woods. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, that's where we're at with the old girl. Yeah, you damn right, Dizzy. I am. I said I'm going this weekend. It's actually my birthday this weekend. I'm going this weekend to my Potts guy's house, and he's got like a whole junkyard full of these early 70s F bodies. And he's got one that he's got rid of, and he told me, you know, in return for some labor, I can cut off anything I want from the Potts car, which includes those frame rails I was just showing you. So I'm pretty hooked up in that section. I got my spoiler I'm going to be putting on soon. Get that painted and ready to install when everything else is done. My ding ding is red. All right. So that's not good. You should do something about that, E-Dog. I don't know that you should be telling the public that, but hey, to each their own. Yeah, because I really want to get this. The next thing I'm gonna do when I get this thing moved, I want to get this fender taken care of. I am so sick of looking at this fender like this, and I have. Show you guys. Let's see. I'm gonna have to turn my light back on. If you guys can see in here. But I do have another fender for it. But it's off of a 1980. And it does have some rust down here. But if you notice, the rest of it's nice and clean, right? So I got that little rust spot on there. I got that fender for 25 bucks. That's why I bought it. It was only 25 bucks. To get an actual 71 fender, 450. So this vent right here, 1971 only. And if you notice, the rest of this fender is pretty much rust free. There's a little bit of surface going on down here, but I'm gonna cut this whole section of this fender off, probably up to this line or right below it, and weld it onto the 80 fender. And then the only other thing I have to take off of this fender here is because the 80 doesn't have this valance here in these marker lights. There's actually right here that's probably crushed. There's a bracket that I got to get off of there and try to straighten it out and weld it onto that 1980 fender, so that way I can maybe straighten out this valance or bolt on a new one. But yeah, other than that, the 80 fender fits on. It's all the same, except for that vent hole right there, and then this valance right here. So there's a bracket mushed in between there that I got to try to salvage or create, whatever works. Oh. It's either that or I save up $450, and my parts guy, he has a 71 fender that he's willing to sell me. But I think 450 bucks right now is a bit much. If for some reason, later on down the road I get some money, that's just practice, body work for me. If I weld that fender up and then I put a whole nother fender on it's not going to be the end of the world for me. It's just, I can weld just fine. It's just, I'm rusty, you gotta work the kinks out. Be a nice little practice run, see if I can get it going, and then get a fender on there, and that way it won't bother me so much. I mean, this really just it irks me. I can't stand looking at it like that. That's why usually when I show pictures of this car, I usually show them from this vantage point because it looks so much better. But I mean, that right there, that's what sells me on these cars. The fucking bullnose. There's just nothing like it. There's just nothing like it. Ever since I was a 9-year-old boy watching Chips, Indian style, on the living room floor, and Ponch rolled out with his bronze Trans Am. His was a 71. It had those same vents on it, and I think they cut the Trans Am vents into it too, and it also had a Formula hood. But yeah, the other thing that sells me on these cars is this back window here. If you notice, the newer models, they got the big back window. I don't know, just that the lines right there. That's what does it for me. And then let's see if I can get the trunk open. Kind of using you guys as my light, sorry. I need a longer screwdriver. I'll show you guys something else in a second that really ticks me off. I can't wait to get a fucking toolbox. Alright. So this back. So this back panel pisses me off, okay, because this is early 70s stuff only, and they wanted to get into the trunk, right? So they fucking blasted this fiberglass piece right here. They fucking blew it out with a hammer so that they can open the fucking trunk with a screwdriver. I priced out this panel. This panel is like $475. It's crazy, and they're tough to find. I'm actually glad that they're not even in that great of shape. I'm gonna have to get new taillights too, but I mean, look at the trunk floor in here. I mean, there's some surface, but this is another thing that sold me on this car, because usually on these things, especially the early 70s, okay, you'll pop this trunk and there won't be nothing here. This is the only like real bad part is right here, and I gotta fix that anyways because the frame rail's a little messed right here. But I mean, this side nice and solid. And I was expecting, when I went to look at this car, I was expecting to pop this trunk and see the gas tank, and that didn't happen. Here's my spoiler that I gotta put on. My parts guy gave me that for free. You know what I mean? And I met the guy over this car. Like, I was just looking for information, and just like I met you guys, the Mach O boys, I met this guy, and he's just cool as hell. He also gave me this right here. This piece right here just looks like a chunk of metal, right? But if you look right here, I got a little bit of an issue here. This came off that parts car I'm going to cut apart this weekend. His son kind of gaffed it up right down there. I can fix that, but I mean, I'm gonna cut this up and I'm gonna fix that pillow with this piece here. You're absolutely right, Dizzy. Like I said, I had literally just met this guy. He's like a couple towns over from me in Mansfield. And like the first time I met him, you know, I brought like $200 with me and I bought a couple parts off of him. And he just, I knew the guy for maybe an hour and he gave me that spoiler because I told him I needed one. And then I got the end pieces in the back there. I ended up having to buy those, but no, Mansfield, Mass. Yeah, I'm in Massachusetts, Dizzy. But yeah, this is the original color of the car right here. This ugly gold color. Yeah, I don't want to put out exactly where I'm at on the internet, but you know, maybe we can talk privately. I'll let you know right where I'm at. But basically, I'm South Shore, Mass. where I'm at right now, where my car is, it's like 35, 40 minutes from the Bourne Bridge. So that's why I don't get to do too many videos on this thing, because I live like a half an hour away from here where I have it stored. So, but yeah, just, I haven't had this trunk open in a while. I think this is only the third time I've looked in here, but yeah, when I first got this thing, like even this tail panel right here, this thing keeps telling me I'm orientated wrong, but even this tail panel right here, usually that's all destroyed and gone too, you know? And I mean, I'm obviously going to have to do a lot of cleaning up. And I have to do a lot of cleaning up, but and when it's done, it's gonna be mint. I'm gonna do this thing nice, because my goal is because, you know, I didn't always live the best life and I didn't think about the future, my kids and stuff. So I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone on this car. First is, you know, my dream car. I've always wanted one of these, right? Not just a second gen F-body. I wanted a 70, 71, 72, 73. One of these. And then the second thing is once this thing's fixed up and in good shape, it's going to be worth, you know, a decent amount of money. You know, it's not going to make anybody rich, but it'll be worth a decent amount of money. Now, imagine, you know, 30, you know, maybe 40 years down the road, or however long it takes for me to croak, right? I'll have something to leave my kids. You know what I mean? I'll be able to leave this to my kids and they can either keep it or they can sell it and, you know, split it between the two of them, you know? But that's my plan anyways. But, yeah. Google Maps, I'm putting you in my... Well, I imagine because all the fireman stuff you do, Dizzy, I bet a lot of people know where you're at. I just don't want people showing up at my old man's place, and I mean, I really don't care if anybody knows where I live in Attleboro. I'm in Attleboro, Mass, but where the car is, it's my old man's place, and I don't want people showing up here. I mean, I'm not popular or anything, but I just, you know how people can be, you know. And then another thing I'll address while I'm on here, if there's anyone wondering, no, my name is not actually Matthew Decker. I am a Star Trek nerd. My favorite run of Star Trek was the 1960s. Was the 1960s run, and Matthew Decker was Commodore Decker, the commanding officer of the USS Constellation, in the episode "The Doomsday Machine," where he, just check out the episode. It's Star Trek: The Original Series, and the name of the episode is "The Doomsday Machine," and you'll see where I got the name Matthew Decker from. But yeah, my real name is Mike, but I don't mind if you guys call me Matt. But your name is really Dizzy? You Dizzy? Oh, well, that makes sense. Dizzy Dave. But all right. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up because my old lady's in the house. She's probably looking forward to going home and making some dinner, and I don't think I'm gonna climb my fat ass under here and do that brake line today. But yeah, this live was a bit of a success. We're almost 27 minutes in. At one point, I had 20 people in here. I got my buddy Dizzy in here, showing his support. I appreciate you. And the last time I had one, I think what's the other one's name? He's got the Dakota. Jinxie was on the last one. But yeah, winning. Definitely winning. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on the Marco show. Next time I come down, I'll probably pop up another live and let you guys know how I'm doing. Until then, you guys have a good one. Take care.